Bear's Mud Podcast, and I pray to God I got the echo fixed and you guys don't hear no echoes today. Please give me a 1 in the mother freaking chat box if there's no echo. Please, no echo today. So anyway, hope you guys are ready and buckled up because we have got a show for you today. And might I add, we're joined by a person actually that I thought was MIA, and we were probably going to have to send out a missing person. Is that what you call it? Missing person report on him? Because we haven't heard from this person. Haven't seen him active on Twitter.
APB.
Haven't seen him streaming, any of that. And that person is the one and only Nerdy John. Welcome in, Nerdy John.
Hey, yeah, I was gone for a while. In fact, I was gone for so long that YouTube changed their layout and it just looks really crappy now. I was gone for a little while, guys. A buddy of mine, he told me, hey, come join this club. He called it the Cool Kids Club. Yeah. We got to wear these white robes and we got to burn crosses. It was nice.
Dude, hell yeah, brother.
Oh, God. Well, listen, I disavow all of what Nerdy John just said.
What?
I am not going to be called out as being a member of the, what do they call me? The right, alt-right, whatever it was. I'm not going to be labeled that shit again. Because that's all I need. Jesus. Well, so anyway, I hope you guys have all had a great week. I do thank you guys for tuning in this afternoon. I know we're getting a little bit later start, but there was a good reason. Because
I was eating steak. I was eating so much steak. I ate a whole pound of steak in one sitting.
Yeah. Banana Grabber, let's all give a big round of applause.
No, don't do it.
To Banana Grabber, because today is his birthday.
It's not today. Yeah, it's today. We'll say it's today.
We're celebrating your birthday today. That's what we're doing. Okay. So anyway.
Oh. He disconnected.
Oh my God! Not today. Not on my special day.
There.
A very special day.
There went. Okay.
What is happening? What is doing this?
I don't know what's going on, dude.
It's the CIA. They're attacking the wires again.
You're in China, dude. You're an agent of the communists.
I am in Tiananmen Square where nothing happened.
Exactly.
I heard it was a very pleasant day.
It was a beautiful, beautiful day. We have Orson Welles in the chat. We have Zero Core and Mr. Gamer. Welcome. Zero Core, the OG of our Mud Squad, the first Mud Squad member.
Yes, and I think he's actually was our very first mod too on the channel.
Exactly.
I mean, he's like Mud Squad number 1. So
absolutely.
Anyway, but yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of dive into it. We've but hang on, before we get into our stories, we got a little bit more to share with you. That's not all. You kind of had an exciting weekend, haven't you, Banana?
Maybe.
What did you do yesterday, Banana?
I can't talk about it.
We can't talk about it.
I snuck into a Hatebreed concert and I saw DrSharvago and I gave him a little kissy.
I wasn't going to talk about your illegal activities. I was just going to talk about went up there and hung out with DrSharvago, which, by the way, is the composer of our intro and outro music. And a longtime fan and friend of the Banana. And
I'm a fan of his.
And a fan of his. Yes, we're a fan of his work. And, we've known Doc for,
too long. Too fucking long.
Yeah. And I didn't know that there was anything going on, or I might have tried to slide.
It was last minute. It was last minute. Like literally the day before he texted me. And he was like,
it could have been a threesome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Doc is fucking huge. He's like 6'4", 6'5".
So
and he's
So you could have been the cream stuffing in our Oreo sandwich. Is what
yeah. Hey,
Doc and I could have just made you our little snack back there.
I certainly am white enough for it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So But anyway, you've had a very eventful weekend. You've celebrated your birthday. You got to go hang out with the one and only DrSharvago. So yeah, man, that's awesome, and I'm glad you got to go hang out with Doc. So anyway, let's get this out of the way because unfortunately we do have some sad news. Aaron Carter, I know probably for a lot of the watchers of this,
90s baby.
yeah,
Remember this
90,
one?
yeah, and
I mean, it's sad, but is it surprising on your list of people who you'd expect to die from an overdose? Let's be frank. No, it's not. I mean, this guy's days were numbered the second I saw him do what was it? What was Candy? That Candy song? Anyone
I
remember?
love candy.
You're like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that was a remix, I think, of the original one. But I honestly, and here's my boomer in me coming out, right? I never heard of this guy before.
Are you for real?
Yeah, yeah.
He was a like C-list pop star.
Yeah.
His brother was in Sync, I think, or Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, well, I knew that. I when they started, I said, yeah. But again, in Sync, Backstreet Boys, whatever it was, that again was not music that I listened to. So.
And you see, I have the opposite problem that Riveter has. I'm too young to remember.
Yeah. Well,
I'm part of the transient generation of failures. The millennials.
Oh, okay.
Transient.
I thought you said something else.
No.
Okay. All right. So
transient, as in like we're vagrants that do not belong.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a donation.
We just got a donation from JFA. Says, happy 40th birthday, Banana Grabber. Don't spend it all in one place, cheapo.
Oh, shucks.
$5
Thank
donation
you.
from JFA. So.
One thing the show has overshot from the point, donation system works.
Well, yeah, but
that's for damn sure.
Okay, but we use Stream Elements and they use Stream Labs. So
when you donate, we read them. So give us all your money.
Hopefully you guys heard the audio. I didn't hear it myself, but I don't know if it didn't work. I'll try to work on getting it.
We'll figure it out.
I'm just
DrSharvago in the chat.
Hey, there it is. We were just talking about you, Doc. We're just talking about you and Banana's love fest you had yesterday. So
I was talking about how big, strong, and handsome you were. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he was talking about how he wished I could have gotten over there so that we could have had a cuddle puddle and made him our little white cream in our little Oreo sandwich. We could have just got him in there and just your audio isn't working right now, Rivy. Oh, that's too bad, JFA. Here's the fix, but it's on your end. You have to hit Alt F4, and that'll take.
Look, what you need to do is you need to go into your computer settings and then delete System 32. It will work perfectly.
Oh, Doc says you kissed him on the mouth and then you ran away. What's up with that, Banana?
I'll never tell. No, like all I'll say is this. I would not want to meet DrSharvago in the mosh pit. He's a big boy. He would destroy me. Anyone in the mosh pit that had to go toe to toe with Doc, I feel bad for them. They're gonna have a rough morning. Yeah.
Are you saying he's corn fed?
He's a corn fed Oklahoman.
Look, they're not gonna walk right the next day. That's all he's saying.
Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's just get into this this Keffals thing. Now, we really on this channel haven't delved too much into Keffals.
Being said, goodbye to the channel.
Well, it's kind of one of those deals where honestly, there was just so much. Everything from the huge manifesto that Destiny put out, her war with Kiwi Farms, her war with Destiny, hell, for that matter, her war with the internet, really.
Nicholas De Oreo.
Well, that was kind of a weird thing. Her whole thing with Nicholas De Oreo was kind of weird because she tried to hang all these labels around, Nick's neck, and honestly, none of them really ever stuck, except for within her own community.
Yeah, she tried doing the same thing with Tipster too.
Yes, she did. Anybody that spoke any type of opposition against her or offered any type of criticism, the only thing that I did not like her cancel culture attitude that she had towards anybody that was not Team Keffals. If you outwardly
So wait, so she's a dishonest YouTuber who uses any tactics to quell dissent. Like it's a universal trait amongst all narcissistic YouTubers. I'm shocked.
Okay.
Frankly,
She's
I'm shocked.
trans. That's what makes her different.
Well, hang on, guys. I
Oh.
mean, you can have disingenuous YouTubers that will take all kinds of nefarious steps to try to silence their critique or their criticizers or whatever, right? Like doing a DMCA takedown of a video or things of that nature, right? But in my opinion, Keffals is 1,000 times worse because it's not just as she doesn't necessarily DMCA strike people. She just yeets people off of platforms, period. She
encourages mobs to like go
Yes.
after people on Twitter too.
Yes.
Like, she rallies her
100%.
fan base. Yeah.
Yes, she will. She will get people. She gets her base. She will swing her base without any qualms to go out and mass report somebody's Twitter, get them yeeted off of Twitter, get them removed from Twitch, get them removed from YouTube. She has no qualms about it. So it's not just a matter of, oh, I want to hush this negative criticism that people are directing towards me. No, I want to destroy them and any voice that they have because I don't agree with what they're saying, rather than coming out and saying, this is not correct, this is not factually true, and here's why. She never does that. If anybody that has voices any opposition to her views, her opinions, anything, they're labeled as transphobic, they're labeled as homophobic, they're labeled as anti-LGBTQ, any of the other little monikers out there that she likes to throw at people. She quickly dismisses them. Oh, they're just a Kiwi Farm supporter, or they're this or they're that, right? And like I say, her base is so large, especially on Twitter, that she just wreaks havoc, right? So and there was just so much out there, and I did not like her cancel culture attitude that she had towards anybody that tried to take exception with anything that she said. That was my whole thing with her. I didn't like that.
It wasn't just that too. It was, oh, you're associated with this one thing that vaguely might be against me. Nazi.
Yeah. I mean,
it's really convenient. Yeah, like you said, John, it's like if there's just a like a tiny micro dot of fucking ammunition to be used, she'll jump on it.
100%. So anyway, like I say, there's countless streams out there, like that Destiny. He had like, I don't know, it was like how long the stream was when he was going through all the documentation and stuff that he had gathered, that manifesto that he put out, and I don't know how many pages it was, right? But I got news for you. I can't watch that long of a stream. I just can't. My brain will not allow me to. I'm not going to sit there and pour through that much documentation that that he made available to everybody after that stream. I just can't. To me, it's not palatable. Even
that being said, make sure you watch our long streams.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, listen. I if there was a way for us to condense our podcast into a shorter period of time, 100%, I would. The problem is I think I may be the only person that talks slower than Jeremy over on the quartering, and I just and I constantly get harassed about people. You got to talk in 1.5 or 1.75 speed, and I would if I could, folks. I swear to God, I would. I just can't. My brain won't let me talk that fast. Now, with all that being said, you know, when Nick actually got her into a live stream um, debate, confrontation, whatever you want to call it, to me, it was not a debate. It was really actually all it was really a conversation between three people, her, Keemstar, and Nicholas Diorio. Now, I did watch that whole segment, and I know that a lot of people kind of got a little bit upset with Nick because they felt like he, you know, this was his opportunity to, you know, hammer her. And, but I don't think under people understood that if he'd have went in hard at her, she would have just exited stage left, and that would be the end of it, right? So it was more about asking her questions, which I think Nicholas masterfully did, and got her, you know, to say some things, you know, to some poignant questions, and I think he did an excellent job with it. And I don't know.
Yeah, not everything has to be. Not everything has to be a slam dunk straight away. Sometimes it's better if you ease the person into slipping up.
One of the things, and this was some advice that was given to me some time ago, and I'd kind of forgotten about it, honestly. And then the other day, uh, Dave and I were talking, Dead on Dave and I were talking, and he said, you know what? He said, the best thing you can do with people is just give them time and let them hang themselves, because they will. People like her will hang themselves. They will go out there and eventually they're going to I don't know what you would call it. They're going to overplay their hand, and they're going to get got. Now, case in point, we now have this Willie Mac video. Now, this is a long video in Willie Mac standards. This video is like 35 minutes long, right? Typical Willie Mac videos, you know, 10 to 15 minutes. On the upside, maybe 20, right? So this is a very long video for Willie, and he beautifully goes through the major points of Keffals, of the Keffals story, and he brings receipts, and he, you know, and then he wraps it all up in a neat little bow about the last 5 to 6 minutes of the video. Right now, we're not going to sit here and just watch Willie Mac's video. I won't do that to Willie. We're going to watch some segments, and then I'm going to highly encourage you guys, if you have not watched the Willie Mac video, go watch the video. And support Willie on this. Tweet out the video, and you know, share it. Leave a comment down, you know, in the comment section down below, because the chances are, you know, this could very well, you know, if Keffals finds it or whatever, this could be. What do you call it? Basically kicking the can of worms open. So anyway, we'll see.
Make sure you download this, folks.
Well, I'm not going to sit there and encourage you to download it or anything like that. That's not my place to say that. But if we, you know, hopefully Willie has a copy of it to where if something happens or whatever, we can, you know, we can get it, you know, back up somewhere on either alternative site or something like that. But anyway, so let's get into the video, and let's just kind of listen to some segments here and there, and just kind of share our thoughts. Now, either one of you, is there a particular timestamp or anything like that you would like to just jump to right off the bat?
Nope.
John?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we'll just kind of start off here.
Discuss the bipartisan issue that is Keffals. For those of you who don't know, Keffals is a former candidate of the Canadian Communist Party turned Twitch streamer. He became famous for ratioing people on Twitter, doing it to Elon Musk as well as many other right-leaning people. She aims to deplatform anyone who criticizes her. She's vindictive, encouraging her fans to go after people's jobs. She's doxed individuals, hiring a private investigator to do so. She's embezzled over $100,000 of GoFundMe money for a lawsuit that will never happen, while conveniently now having the money to vacation all around Europe, with a new IRL streaming setup to boot. Download this video because she has taken down countless accounts that have rubbed her the wrong way. That is why.
All right, you heard it from Boi DMax's mouth. Download the video, guys, using that illegal software out there that certain people on this platform believe exists.
Illegal third-party software.
Porn TV.
I would like to thank our special guest.
Okay, so this is where he does his promo for the men moisturizing cream and stuff. So anyway, yeah, go throw some love towards his sponsor as well. I can't. What is the name of his sponsor here? Let's see. Yeah, Tiege, I guess it is Tiege, TIEGE.com. If you are young and you like to keep that nice smooth face and you want to impress the ladies and whatever, guys, Willie, he says this stuff is some good stuff. I've talked to him. So anyway, so
if you're putting on anything in your face and you're a man, you should really be questioning your sexuality. Anyway.
Why?
Like, what kind of fucking, like, just who cares? Just rub a bar.
Well, I don't need to question anything, you silly Billy.
Why should you care about your appearance? Don't care about your appearance.
And I'm gonna ask you a question. Let's pause there for a second. Just how many women are you dating right now, Banana?
50.
No, the answer is 0.
I have a harem.
There's a reason why. No, you're not tipster. You do not have.
No, you're just jealous of all my simp army that's coming for you.
Wait, simps implies men.
Exactly. Well, no, if it's you can have female.
Literally, like Brick is right in the chat. He says rub mud on the face. Exactly. You just literally just get some rocks and just start scrubbing your face with them. You're fine.
Men only use the 12-in-1 body wash. You're right. Most.
If you use Ajax dish soap, you're fine. Just get a steel wool pad and just use the Ajax. You're good.
Well, yeah.
Well, it might be why I don't have any hair either. So I don't know.
Probably so.
Yeah.
So anyway, here we go. Let's listen to
the original all-in-one.
Free gift for sponsor. Which is interesting because she's also one of the biggest bullies on the internet herself. Keffals routinely mischaracterizes people she doesn't like with half-truths or lies to try and discredit them. She loves to frame everybody else's community as super transphobic. She once got mad at Destiny for talking about trans women in sports. It's a hot button issue in today's climate because everyone deserves a right to compete, but there's clearly a competitive edge there. So to me, it makes sense that
No. Not at all.
Not at all.
Political creators would engage in this dialogue.
So my understanding of your position is that basically there's some advantage that having ever been sort of like born male or whatever, having ever had male physiology, that the advantage that presents you in competing in certain sports is like equivalent to the advantage presented by doing like performance enhancing drugs or something.
And wow, it's greater than doing performance enhancing drugs, but it's more that there is a specific advantage that you get that those leagues are controlling for. Like, it's supposed to be female leagues and male leagues. So if you're able to gain an advantage by breaking that construct, then that seems to be a pretty bad thing.
So how does Keffals respond to this take? She calls him a stealther, which is when you take off the condom without letting the girl know.
Which completely has basis in that argument, right, guys?
That's not a overreaction.
Okay, so I never heard this term before.
Stealthing.
Never. To me, stealthing would be.
It's kind of like ghost riding, but not with a vehicle.
No, stealthing to me, right? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Was like if you were like talking to somebody, maybe you went out on a date or two, maybe you hooked up, and then you just. I think they call it ghosting now. Or
That's
something
ghosting.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to me,
one night stand.
that was just I mean, I had to look up to find out. I mean, when Willie was
Stealthing's
covering
one of those
this
things
stuff,
that
yeah.
I mean, there's only I think there's only one. I could be wrong on this, but I definitely know there's at least one. There's only like one U.S. state that has stealthing as assault, and it's California.
Stealthing is like one of those things people make up as like a fear, but like who in their right mind would ever do that?
Right, because like let's be honest, dudes, especially nowadays, are paranoid of having kids.
Terrified.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, thank you for the subscription, Purple Paw Prints. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, I don't know. I don't like. Why people are so hyper paranoid of like STDs and all that shit. Like,
yeah. Well, if you remember, Moses, Gila's brother was accused of stealthing one of his exes. That's why him and Trisha had the falling out with Ethan.
Well, you know, I think. Well, first of all, if a guy does that, I think it's wrong, especially if there had been an agreement for the man to wear contraception.
I don't know about you, but I write out my contracts before I ever do anything with a woman. Yeah, we sit at a table with a lawyer.
The problem is you can't really prove stealthing unless the girl gets pregnant or like one of you guys gets an STD.
Yeah,
it's impossible to prove in a court of law unless you have a video recording of it.
Yeah, I mean, because the condom could break, and then what? They just stealth you, like. Yeah. So I don't know. It seems one of those silly things that doesn't exist. Only on the internet.
Yeah. So anyway, so he goes on. He's and this is kind of more about the destiny and so forth. And I wanted to get on over here to where, let's see, where was it? Okay, I think it's like right in here. All right. So this is where we kind of start getting into the whole Kiwi Farms issue.
Growing her battle with Kiwi Farms.
I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't got money, then I don't mess with y'all.
Kiwi.
Just out of curiosity, do you guys
Krispy
know who?
Kreme, 2012.
Yeah, Krispy Kreme, but now he goes by Froggy Fresh because he had to change his name because Krispy Kreme actually came after him.
Are you for real?
I'm serious. Yeah, you don't know that story? 100%.
That's okay, Beyonce. I think you're cute too. I love that fucking.
If you guys if any of the chat have never heard of Krispy Kreme,
2012
or Froggy Fresh, I highly suggest after the show look him up. He is funny as all get out. He's hilarious. He has a video. Well, I think one of the very first videos I ever came across, and this was back. Oh my gosh, this was probably 10 plus years ago. Was his video? Was it Dunked? My boy, he has a guy named Blue. He gets dunked on, and they're out there playing. In the video, they're out there playing basketball, and they've got the rim down about 6 foot or so because it's just a bunch of short white guys playing ball. It's hilarious. It's a funny video. Anyway, so let's hear some of the excerpt here about her battle with Kiwi.
Kiwi Farms is an internet forum where people gather together to discuss controversial figures. They are most infamous for their documentation of lolcows. The place has incredibly lax moderation, meaning slurs and misgendering run rampant. Which, I don't care. I grew up on Xbox Live. Every place on the internet doesn't need to be squeaky clean, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's a degenerate place that has some degenerate people on it whose passion is documenting other degenerates.
So, question. Have either one of you guys... did you guys ever frequent Kiwi Farms?
I didn't frequent it, but I've been on there before to look up stuff.
Okay, so you have visited. I've never. I know Kiwi. I think it's.
I also go on 4chan every night. I look at 4chan every evening.
Okay.
Yes, I go on to poll and I look at people be the worst human beings they can possibly be, and it's actually hilarious.
Okay. Well, I think the worst I have ever done is I've went on Reddit a few times, and that's it. I really didn't know anything about Kiwi Farms, and then this all started up or whatever, and I thought, well, I don't think that's a place that I want to visit, and I did not. And then what's the other one you said? 4chan? What? I don't.
The anonymous 4chan.
4chan. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I that's not something anyway. So.
I've never posted. I look at all the threads because they're funny.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
I wasn't surprised to find out that Keffals had a thread created on her. This would lead to a war. Keffals would be swatted August 5th, 2022. Swatting is when an anonymous person calls in a fake crime so the police raid your house and potentially harm you. The threat was someone impersonating Keffals via email, saying that she killed her transphobic mom and was going to kill every cisgendered person she sees at City Hall. Keffals was arrested and then released by the police, returning all of her raided belongings 3 days later. In the meantime, Keffals would heavily criticize how the police handled things, starting a GoFundMe to move, recoup her losses, and build a legal fund.
Swatting is a crime. Identity theft is a crime. Okay. And because it was a crime that was motivated by hatred against transgender people, it was a hate crime perpetrated against me.
You know what? Because I've watched a few Keffal videos and things like that. You know, the one thing that I find just mesmerizing about Keffals?
Her psychotic glared over look. That she glazed over like stare.
No,
the dead, like the no soul, no dead-eyed look she gives.
No, guys. I mean, I don't know where you're getting that. It's bubbly personality. It's the constant, the entertaining conversation that goes. It's never having 5 to 10 minutes of dead air where she just sits there and. So
yeah, is it okay for me? Is it okay for me as like addressing her comments seriously? Like, is it okay for me to just not care that happened to her because she courts this kind of thing? Like, she actively flirts with these kind of people to get this kind of response. Like, there are other trans people who don't have a public media platform, and even some that do that don't get this kind of hate or kind of swatting. So it's like, do I have to care? Like, because you actively bring this in.
Well,
like
what she also is doing here, she's trying to make herself the leader of the online trans community. She's trying to make herself seem like a Martin Luther King type of figure. So she's purposefully trying to stoke the fires with these groups that she knows have a strong disliking towards her type of people. So she's purposefully trying to start stuff. It's like
like King Brick says in the chat, don't forget the time she doxed herself in Ireland.
Okay, so to answer your question, Banana, because you posed a question there. Is it bad of you because you don't care? I don't.
No, is it wrong? Is it wrong for me? Yeah, to not care.
Yeah, is it wrong? Is it bad that you don't care? I don't think so. I mean, I think it. Okay, so let me ask you this: if it was, say, anybody else, we'll just pick somebody.
Pick somebody.
If they got swatted, and you were upset about them getting swatted. I mean, okay, that's
I was about to say it doesn't make any sense.
All right, so let me ask
also,
you.
Rick, call in and explain that part. But go ahead.
Okay, so how do I put this? How do I word this? All right, how about this? Pick some streamer that's a large streamer that you have no affiliation, no contact with, you don't watch, and
Destiny.
Do you watch Destiny?
I don't.
Okay. So somebody swats him. Is that upsetting to you?
If he courts it, if he like flirts with those people so if you're like actively going after these people and stirring up shit in the community, like if he's doing that, if he's sticking his dick in the hornet's nest, like why should I feel bad for him?
Okay.
Yeah, and like if you mind your own business and then you just so happen to go by a hornet's nest and they attack you, I feel bad. I feel bad, genuinely, of course. But you try to mess with the hornets.
I'll say this, okay. Swatting anybody, I think, is bad, even if.
Well, yeah, it's bad.
Even if they're courting. Okay, now do I feel bad that she got swatted? Her personally, I I guess yes, in a way, because I don't feel like, even though she did what she did, and I think she's not a very good person for what she does. I don't think she's a good person because she has this, like I've said, she has this cancel culture mentality to where it's either you're 100% with me, and if you're not, then you have to be destroyed, right? I don't like that about her, and I think it's immoral, and I think it's very bad thinking on her part. However,
you know what? Before you finish your point, to add on to something previously, I think the first time around it wasn't on purpose, but when she saw the attention that she could get from events like this, she started to try and capitalize on it.
The feedback loop.
Yes, well, I don't disagree, but I will say this: I'm glad that nobody was hurt physically. I'm glad neither her nor her fiance at the time.
You're flirting with the boundary of saying like an ought from an is. So let me make it abundantly clear. Even though I don't give a shit that this happened, obviously it should be obvious to everyone that doxing is bad. Sure. That doing anything illegal to people is bad. Like I don't have to fucking make a moral judgment on it. I'm just saying I don't care that she got something she paid for in full.
Yeah, cause and effect. I get what you're saying, right? Yes. So
I just hate that has to be like the fucking preface. Can we pull in Brick? We have a caller here.
Oh God. Okay, I'll make this concession with you.
Okay.
We can bring Brick in for a little bit, right? But I'm going to ask you to try to keep him wrangled a little bit, please.
I got you. I'll pull him in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right. Hey, Brick, King Brick, you are on the air. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, what's up? What's up? How you guys
All
doing?
right, so explain this doxing thing with Keffals. Like, what did she do?
Oh yeah, when she fled to Northern Ireland, right? Because when you're being doxed by a group of international malicious Kiwi farms type, the best thing to do isn't to stay where the cops understand the situation, right, in your hometown, and like they could like understand that when people call and try to dox you and threaten that there's a situation that they know what's going on, right? So she went to Northern Ireland, she got doxed. And then she went out front, and the same day she confirmed the dox. She took a photo of the apartment that she was in, and she was like, somebody just doxed me, which is, saying the dox is correct, right? So she's just pouring more fuel on the fire.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and I maybe I'm not remembering everything, but wasn't this friend that she went to visit in Ireland, hadn't that person been previously doxed as well?
I'm not fully aware on that whole situation.
Yes, he was.
He was. Okay. But you know what? And you bring up a really, really great point on this, Brick, is why would you flee your home, your location, where this major event happened, to where it was even covered in, news agencies picked this up. This was not just some little, trifling thing. This was a major thing, right? Why would you leave there when the police department there in her city caught a lot of heat on the way that supposedly things were handled and stuff? Why would you leave that where that has already been established or whatever to go somewhere else different, right? That makes zero sense to me. And Brick has a very good point there. And I think that's one of the things that Willie even brings up. So yeah, a lot of her action stuff doesn't make sense. A logical person wouldn't do this. So
if I was concerned that people were doxing me and I was, in a place where I lived, I would, if the first situation happened, the police really thought that she was dangerous or whatever, right? They believed the fake call-in, right? Yeah. So then the police are aware, right? It got covered. It's national news. The police are going to understand that if somebody goes to do the same thing to her, that, they'd be more apprehensive, right? They wouldn't think that she's just this crazy person. They would treat her with special precautions, right? And I guess the real answer is she got a free vacation out of it, right? And apparently she went around to Ireland and then she became a national news story there. And, so I guess she, she can do no wrong. You know, once she got doxxed and got given that $100K for that lawsuit, which is never going to happen, she could just go and, you know, take her vacation and go on her merry way. I think that's the real answer. Is she's just she's a grifter. She turned into a grift. I don't know if she did she do it on purpose the whole time?
I'll say this. I think she 100% seen an opportunity to milk this and to profit from it. And I don't
let no crisis go to waste, friends.
Exactly.
And folks.
I don't. And here's the thing too, right? And this was something that's kind of brought out later on in Willie's video. Kiwi Farms wasn't even the most prolific or message board that was going after her. But Kiwi Farms, for whatever reason, was the one that she decided to pick the fight with. And the other board is still there, and it's still doing exactly what it was doing previously. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. If you want to know that information, you have to watch Willie's video. How about that?
So. Sounds good to me. I just have one more thing.
Yes,
you know, going back to this, her lovely demeanor in the video that you guys have up now.
Yeah.
Isn't it, you know, I might be wrong, but isn't it a stretch to call like her a hate crime? Because hate crime would be like, you know, the whole group of people who would be transgender. It seems that she is just herself very abrasive. Yeah, no, but it seems that she's very abrasive. It's like, say I am whatever, if I'm, you know, Irish, right?
Yeah.
And I go online and be an asshole, and people go and, you know, somebody doxes me, right? Because they don't like what I'm saying. I can't turn around and say, oh, it's a hate crime because I'm Irish, right? It's just gonna be no, because I've been an asshole, because she's been an asshole, she's been abrasive, and you know, she makes a target of herself. But you
weird
know,
how all these people like who express that they're being hated against publicly are like super hateful people themselves. It's almost like they're doing a, I know what you are, but what am I type thing.
Yeah. It's almost like they don't understand. Oh, it's the consequences of my
Their own
actions.
behavior. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for the call, Brick.
Thanks for having me, guys. Great show.
Hey, thanks, Brick.
Yeah.
You know what? Brick, that's a different Brick. That's not the Brick I'm used to. And
it's always the same Brick. You guys just don't know how to talk to Brick. He has a special mind.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag on something here. Okay. So you know, a good friend of the show, a good friend of you, me, Nerdy John, Matt Pitt, has taken a little break right now from the internet because of some things that has happened in his life, right? And so they're having this competition to find a fill-in co-host over on the Now Recording podcast, which is a great podcast, by the way. If you have, if you're not listening to it, check it out. It's over on Piplup's
Toxic Piplup.
I'm part of the tournament.
Yes,
I haven't been limited yet.
I was going to bring that up, Nerdy. So anyway, I had no intentions of throwing my hat in the ring, right? Because my plate is so full with work, with this show here. We're trying to work the schedule where we can actually do more streams for you guys. And not only that, but I'm helping Dave out, you know, with his show. So my plate was extremely full. So I was like, you know, even though I thought, you know, that would be neat, I would like to work with those guys. I think it would be fun. I just got to know whatever, right? So then the other night, Matt messages me out of the blue. I'm still doing Dave's show, right? He says, "Hey, I need a favor from you as soon as Dave's show. I need you to come over here." I guess some people didn't show up for their tournament, whatever. And says, "I need you to come fill in. And by the way, have a topic to talk about." I'm like, what? And anyways, so I get in there, and it's King Brick, it's Beaverman 03 or something like that. I think was his name. Venom, Code Venom, Chill Venom, Venom Chill, something like that. And then there was a young lady, and Rum, I think her name was, maybe. And they were all nice people and stuff. But Brick was in full Brick mode. I mean, he was just, over the top and stuff. The brick that I'm used to having, right? I mean, just it's
Right.
just the spastic, the all that stuff, and I was like, oh god. But this version that we called in, I could have a conversation with that brick. That brick was calm, well thought out, great points, great talking points. So that brick I like. That brick I would like to get to know more of. But the other one, the high energy one, he just wears me out, dude. He just flat just wears me out.
Can't hang.
So,
Can't hang with the magic thinkies.
no, I cannot. But yeah, anyway, Nerdy John, I know he is threw his hat in the ring, and I hope he gets it. And but there was like I said, there was a lot of the, and I think Brick is still in the running too. I think he was one of the because him and Rum were the two that was selected to go forward that evening, and so and I was very thankful for I guess the opportunity to engage in the conversations, but I was just as thankful that when I wasn't even selected to be so anyway, let's see here. Where was this? Let's go into where was it at this next section I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So here we go. Listen to this next little segment here.
So what did Kiwi Farms actually do that was wrong? Well, they did have a post of her docs up for months, as well as one of the hotels she was staying at. And that is wrong, because doxing leads to swatting, swatting leads to somebody getting hurt or killed. And the owner of the site, as well as the moderator, should be held accountable for that. However, the swatting, hacking of her Uber Eats account, doxing of her family and future addresses, all come down to website zero.
Website zero. And Willie does name it, but again, I'm going to stop it because I do not want to.
Why should the owner of the website be held accountable for the individuals who do it on the website's actions?
Because if he,
why don't you take it on a case by case basis and then punish the individuals accordingly?
Okay, so if the person,
I don't like that. I don't like that line of argument at all.
Okay, well I do, and we can have this conversation. If you're running a website, right? And if you allow that and even encourage that type of,
that's a slippery slope fallacy right there, because what do you determine allow and encourage? If the users on the website are allowing and encouraging it, but the website itself discourages it, that's a different story. But half the time these arguments where they say, "Oh, the website's dangerous, people doxing," it's like, yeah, doxing may happening. Doxing may be happening on the website, but the website is strongly against it, staunchly against it even.
Kiwi Farms was not against it.
Josh Moon himself wasn't? Not
when he put it on the front page of the website.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I lose that argument.
Okay. There you go. So here's the problem with that and why they should be held accountable. If you're running, and I can speak of this because I am, IT and all that, right? If you're running a website and you are, like, if somebody comes up and just starts doxing, right? And and then you immediately take, you, as soon as you become aware of it, you remove the post and ban that person, whatever, from the website being allowed to get back on there. That is the appropriate response. That is the way you handle it, right? But if you don't delete the post and you don't remove the person from the website to allow it to continue, that person to continue to be malicious in nature, then that is what I say allowing. And by not doing anything to moderate what they're doing, that in itself is encouragement. So yes, the owner of the website in a situation like that 100% is liable, and they should be, legal record or legal pursuit should be taken. Now, if somebody, just like I say, it's just a brief thing or whatever, and as soon as the moderators found it, they get it, remove it, then no, that's a no-brainer. So, I mean,
okay.
But I just want to be clear about that. So, yeah.
Okie dokie.
All right. So let's see. Where is this next little part I want to cover here? Okay. Where is it? Right here.
All of her stuff was given back by the police after 3 days. There are no losses.
I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police.
That's nice.
So, yeah, that was really nice.
When it comes to her moving, for some reason she decided to vacation a year up under the guise of fleeing the country.
And I thought that if I got far away and went to a different continent, they wouldn't be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, because guess what? The internet doesn't exist in Northern Ireland.
Also, you gave your address out apparently, according to Brick. So,
well, I don't know if necessarily. What I do know is that the website Zero that was before mentioned was the one that doxed her. It wasn't Kiwi Farms when she got to Ireland, right? And they put a, I don't know, like a letter or something on the door, whatever, saying this, you know. And here's the other thing too, right? Let's remember something. When she was in Ireland, she was doing IRL streams. And understand something. Understand when I'm saying this, right? There's nothing wrong with doing IRL streams, right? And I know there are a lot of consumers out there that consume that type of content, and that's cool. That's good. I have no qualms about that, right? But if you're a person, as she was portraying herself to be, afraid for her life, in fear of these people doxing her and pursue whatever, then why would you go to, like Brick brought up, why would you leave a area where you'd already established this level of familiarity and repose with the law enforcement, right? Travel to an area that you have no rapport with the law enforcement. The person there that you're going to has already been previously doxxed. Then once they find you there, you go and make it public that, yeah, they did find me, and then subsequently go do an IRL live stream out in public.
Not only that, though, is you take a picture, right?
Yeah.
And people are able to find your location just from that picture alone, and you continue to post pictures.
Yes. And not only that, she left Ireland and she come back, and where did she, do you know where she went?
Where? TwitchCon, right?
TwitchCon.
And
she was tweeting out that I'm at TwitchCon. Okay.
Curb your perceived doxing.
Oh God. So here's the thing. So again, I don't understand this. If you are, as she said in her video,
this is like, why am I getting so much hate?
Wait, Riveter. Not only that, not only did she go to TwitchCon, but she went to TwitchCon and threatened Destiny's wife.
Oh yes,
love to see it.
Now she denies that, because Nicholas Dioro, in his conversation with her during that live stream, he point blank asked her about that. She denies that it happened. But let me just say this for the record. I don't believe she knows what the truth is if it reached up and bit her on her ass. There's no doubt in my mind that she went up to Destiny's wife and made that threat. She is a power-hungry person, and she has been successful in a cascade of people being yeeted off of all kinds of different platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, so forth. It does so.
You know what? On second thought, Riveter, honestly, if you entertain me for a second, I kind of respect the hustle. Like, I want power too. I'm just not smart enough to abuse the giant masses in a way that is profitable for me. I'm just too stupid.
Yeah, well, also, unfortunately, you are a cis straight white male, so
the system. We're the most good at getting power, right? That's like what the narrative is, isn't it?
Not anymore, man. It's not like the good old days.
No.
Well, the good old days. There we go. Shit, I'll tell you what. This is something that really kind of bothers me, is this mindset that, and especially my generation, right? old white guys, right? Hang on here. We got a donation here. Let's see.
Oh my God, $10 from Keffals.
Keffals just donated $10. The situation has escalated. Now I have to. Now I have fled to P. Sherman's 52 Wallaby Way, Sydney, Australia. In case anyone is wondering. There you go. Let's go.
Wallaby Way.
Herself again.
Okay, Keffals, can I get some GoFundMe money?
You said mindset, but I think you're confused, Riveter. She's on her grind set.
Our grind set.
Her power hungry grind set.
She's on that Sigma male grind, guy.
She's on that Gary Vee workflow. You just don't understand her hustle mentality.
Anyway,
she went to Hustlers University before it got shut down.
She read Grant Cardone's Art of the Deal. Have you guys read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Keffals read it. She knows how to work the economy. All right.
Okay. So anyway, guys, let me just do this here. Let me copy this out. I'm going to share this out in the chat. Don't leave, please. Stay with us. But
please don't leave.
There's a link to Willie's VOD. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
If you haven't seen it,
if you have seen it, make sure you're tweeting it out. Share it out with people on your timeline on Twitter, because there might be some people that you interact with or that you're friends with that may not be aware of Willie. And this is too important of a video for it. But anyway, I want to move on because there's a little bit of. Okay, so here's there's a little thing that happened on the Keemstar show. Now, Banana, have you watched any of the Keemstar shows?
No, I do not watch. I would. I'm just I'm on my hustle and flow grind set. I don't have time.
I understand. So what about you, Nerdy? Have you watched any of the Keemstar shows?
Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to catch them live, but I do watch the highlights when I can, or I watch the VODs when I can. Okay. A pretty entertaining show, especially when they trolled Savo of Xylee,
Yes. The Halloween special that they did was really good. Xylee flew up there to Buffalo, New York, went on to the Keemstar compound and surprised Savo. And it was a great episode. And if you haven't watched it, I suggest you do. The members of that show, Keemstar, Sabo, Brentley, and Chris the Narc, all have a really good chemistry, I think. And I like the show. I like all the people on the show.
Her name is Brantley.
Brantley, and
what kind of fucking name is Brantley? Like fucking.
I don't know.
Brantley. Get over here, Brantley.
It is.
She is Southern.
She is Southern, and I'll tell you something. I really, really love hearing another person, especially on a big platform like that, with a Southern accent. It's Southern, but it's one of those really cute Southern accents, and I really like it. But anyway, the other evening, let
me read you a tweet by Brantley. Hold on one second. TBH, Andrew Tate is just annoying now. We get it. You're full of hate. Please shut up. LMFAO, nobody cares, bro. And your voice is so irritating. Her voice is not great. She should not be saying that. All you do is yell and complain like the biggest bitch boy I've ever met. A man sits there and shuts TF up. He doesn't bitch like a baby. I've met more women that are bigger bosses than you and deal and put up with a lot of shit. Just shut up. Laughing face emoji. And then this hand. I don't know what this means. You're embarrassing yourself. SMH. Shake my head. Dude, she is like a child. Like,
are you
she's
sure
like
that's the right Brantley? Are you on the right Twitter account? Are you sure? 'Cause I don't know.
Yeah, it's Brantley. It's her fucking tweet. That's her Twitter.
Okay, so
let's see. It's at Brantley Keem.
Okay, then yeah, that's her. Hang on here. We got another dono here. Brantley, BRANT Lee. tip
a
$5.
cornbread hillbilly bitch. That's
Brantley says, I think you have a cute southern accent too, Riveter. Don't tell Keem. Well, Brantley, thank you for that. I
Well,
appreciate
butter
that.
my biscuits.
Brantley.
But anyway, so the other evening, and I would love to show you guys this, but it's behind a paywall, and I wouldn't do that to Keem and those guys. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle that occurred.
Uh-oh.
Because the sentiment was put forth that people are finding sentiment was put forth, right? This
not the
view, this view was expressed on the show that people are finding Keemstar more likable because his girlfriend Brantley and Salvo is brought out a new side to him, and that's why people are liking him now on this show. And Keem got mad. And he, and so they had a little tough up about it. And then later on, it was brought up again, and he really got mad and got so mad that he ended the members only stream.
Oh shit! Gee, guys, like Keem has never been known to stop podcasts or cancel shows altogether because he felt one of the co-hosts slighted him in some way, right, guys?
No, that never happened. That
never has ever happened with Keem.
Not to Daniel Killer Keemstar.
Why is Tommy dressed like a fucking LA Cholo? Like with his fucking plaid button up. Like, what's he doing?
So
what's up, Holmes? I got this 22
with a 401k. Okay.
So,
yeah, exactly. He doesn't have a 401k. He's a YouTuber. Relax.
So since you brought this up, I'm gonna bring up this. Now, this was from Tommy's stream earlier today. Now, here's the deal. I have not heard this. I haven't listened to it. I was actually was watching. Me and the wife were catching up on some. We had some recorded TV shows and what have you that we were behind on, and so she and I was just kind of spending a leisurely Sunday afternoon. We was watching that. I actually looked down at my watch and I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like 30 minutes before we were supposed to start this podcast, so I said, "I got to go." So I jumped up, whatever, and Banana was texting me, whatever. And so I was scrolling through Twitter to see if there's anything that was breaking or anything like that we needed possibly address during the show.
Yeah, I was texting you on the highway. I was like, I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
Be right there.
And I was like, okay, fine. Because I was just getting out of the shower, drying off. So anyway, get that thought in your head, big boy. Yeah.
If you want to see this content,
Well,
OnlyFans coming up when?
Yeah.
Well, I can't do it right now because Boogie just launched his OnlyFans, and
that son of a bitch.
I don't want to compete against Boogie. I think two men with Greek goddess.
It's a competitive
like
business
ours.
clause. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to compete against him, and and fight over who has the biggest pepperoni nipples.
All right, guys, vote in the chat. Would you rather see Boogies? Put a dab in the chat, or if you want to see Rivs, put a YouTube button in the chat. We'll do a vote now.
All right.
Question:
dabs or YouTube buttons?
Hang on a second. Whose nipple? And then we'll put in here Riv, or
can we do
Boogie.
Polls?
We can do polls.
Have we unlocked? We've unlocked the ability?
I mean, you can do polls on OnlyFans,
Hey. So there's a poll. Got a poll up there, guys.
Metal
so
poll.
You can vote. So you can say, who do you want to see? Whose nipple do you want to see, Riveter or Boogie? There you go. You guys vote. We'll see what happens.
Dab on the haters.
Dab on the haters. There we go. Anyway. So I seen a tweet by our buddy Matt Pitt, and anyway, Matt Pitt said Keemstar called into Tommy's show. and had a link to whatever. And of course, they don't have it timestamped yet. So anyway, we can watch a little bit of this if you guys want to, and just kind of cold react to it, because like I say, I haven't heard this, but Tommy's show today was about Keem and Savo fight.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh guys, we have breaking news. This is important. Everyone ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Kathy Griffin has been banned off of Twitter.
Good.
Let's go. One's in the chat.
No, not good. Not good.
Oh no.
No, I honestly think nobody should, as long as a person is not doing something that is just like in some way
cutting off the president's head in effigy.
Okay, here's the thing. I did not like that. I thought it was very disrespectful, but I think she had every right to do it. How about that?
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
I just hate Kathy Griffin.
But here's the thing. I don't support Kathy Griffith. I don't watch anything that she's associated with.
I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and she's a friend of Larry David's. That's it.
Okay. I don't think anybody should be banned off of Twitter unless they're somehow. Here's the thing. If a person is saying anti-Semitic, if a person is saying anti-LGBTQ statements, if a person is saying racist statements, whatever, I don't care. As long as they're not targeting a person with those statements, they're not addressing it to an individual, I don't give a shit. Now, if they
leave Kanye alone.
If they start, if they start addressing a person and they're espousing that hatred based upon that person's sexuality or skin color or ethnicity, then okay, fine, yeet them. I don't give a shit, right? But I believe that I should be able to call a woman a cunt when she's acting like a cunt and not be banned off of Twitter, which I was. I received a 24-hour ban because a woman who was acting like a cunt, I called her a cunt, and I got a 24-hour ban for that.
That's hate speech, Riveter.
Evidently it was, but I feel like I should be able to say that kind of stuff, right?
Listen, you, Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, you all need to get in line, you know?
Y'all just don't understand Jesus. Yeah, like Ye can do no wrong. Exactly, King Brick.
Okay, listen, I'm a little concerned with this freaking poll. Okay. We've had 11 damn votes, and it's a 91%. Everybody wants to see my damn nipple.
Yeah, I was the one that voted for
subscriber goal.
I guarantee you, Nerdy John wants to see my nipple because he's a
freak. All right, Riv, I've got bills. Listen, no offense, dude. I got bills to pay. You're gonna have to get on that. All right. So I don't look. It's what the people want. I'm sorry to tell you.
I am not starting an OnlyFans. If y'all want to see,
do you want to retire in this economy?
No.
Do you want to retire in this economy?
No, this economy is horrible. I'll tell you what I'll do. The people have spoken. So here's what I'm going to do. If you guys are follow me on Twitter, because I've seen some pretty nasty shit on Twitter. I've seen women's coochies on Twitter. So I'm going to tweet this shit out. And if I get banned because of this shit, we'll know it's because damn Twitter hates straight white men nipples. And if you're not following, here's the thing: if you're not following me on Twitter, you're not going to see this.
All right, River, Nerdy John just shared with me some more breaking news.
Okay,
I think it's pertinent to the narrative we have going on here. It's very important for us to cover this right now. Frankly, I don't think we'd be remiss if we did not let the viewers know about this particular tweet.
Okay.
Did you get it in your DMs, Discord?
Hang on a second here. Let me get this.
We'll let the audience eat all of that up and let it sink in. There's a lot of information they just got. They need to digest it, understand it.
Okay, so I'll bring this up right now. Let's just say Hassan Piker is proof that hair loss medications liquidate your testosterone levels and turn you into a woman.
Why do you think I was so okay with going bald? I would never take those medications. They make you impotent, man. You see these muscles? You see that? You see that?
Yeah.
Can't get that with that freaking for hymns.
I don't know, man. If you have the Hassan Piker hair, you know, you get cocaine every night. You sleep with a different porn star every night. You know, be good life. All you have to do is just grift communism for a bit. You know,
honestly, actually, you might be right. I probably should sell my soul hedonistically so I can enjoy like all the materialistic joys that life have to offer. That would be so sick. I would buy an island and just shoot cannons off of it at boats until I got in trouble. No, it would be over very quickly for me. I would become unhinged. I'd buy a pirate ship and I'd raid like villages off the coast of like Madagascar or something. I don't know.
And then say it's to spread the word of communism. You'll get away with it.
I'm evangelizing.
All right. So since 90% of you sick people asked for it, it's on Twitter. You want to see it? It's on the damn Twitter.
You did it. Oh my God, he did
it. Yeah. Let's go. We got the nipple.
Responded.
What the fuck is that? Oh my God.
That's amazing. Oh, and you know what's funny? Bo Blacks follows me, Nick follows me, Augie follows me. They're about to see some old man stuff.
Old man nipple. There we go.
Anyway, I'm going to use my platform.
Adding that one to the spank bank for later.
Spank bank, baby.
Oh God. I have a headache. Oh shit.
Clip this, Sean. Clip this.
How do I have a nipple vein?
He's a hardworking man. That's why. Mind your own business. God damn it.
I don't know, man. It's just how the good Lord made me. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm about to see a lot of unfollows tonight.
Oh God. So anyway, you guys want to listen to this? I've got it. I found where King calls in. I didn't listen to that section. So do you guys want to listen to this, or are we had enough fun?
No, keep it going. Keep it going.
All right, here we go. So let's listen to the Keemstar call in. Here we go.
Cake's desk.
The year was 1994, and George Orwell.
Okay, first of all, it's 1984, Savo.
It was 1992. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That was 1892.
18? No, it wasn't.
Guys, come on.
After America was founded in 1776, in 1892, Columbus sailed the ocean.
It wasn't 18. It was.
This is
clearly 2146.
Do you know Pythagoras' theorem to the nearest decimal point?
God.
It's the 1994 moment, yeah, for sure.
But anyway,
they're burning books.
Yeah.
Walks outside to his farm.
1886.
And starts to record his animals. And then the rest is history. In 1994, George Orwell predicted everything that is happening in 2022.
Exactly.
And Salvo Pancake.
Wait, Tommy, pause.
Okay. DrSharvago nailed it. Autism. And by the way, that reminds me. Thank you, Doc. Banana. Your goofy butt posted one of them damn, I don't know what Discord server it was in, but you posted a link to the damn autism test.
Every Discord I join, the autism spectrum quotient. Yes.
And I took the damn thing.
Which, by the way, if you didn't know, it was created by Sacha Baron Cohen's cousin, who is like a well-known neuroscientist, I think, or some kind of behavioral person.
So I took the thing.
Yeah.
It said I got a possible 30 out of 50 and that I needed to seek counseling immediately.
Hilarious. Yeah, I scored a 30 as well. So we both have magical thoughts that are suitable for this climate.
So we are now part of that magical army that Bo Black says is rising up. The autism army.
We're the next step in evolution. No, absolutely. We're part of the autism army. Army. Jesus. Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good question, Orson. Yes, Salvo has said that he was a school teacher, an English teacher for that matter. So I pray he was
maybe it was English.
I don't know what he was.
Hello.
I don't know.
Welcome to Shitty Walk.
He gave out the wrong. It was not the book. Name of the book is 1984, not 1994. But
it was the joke. That was the joke. Yes, this is the joke we're explaining. This is why you have autism, because you didn't get that.
I didn't get that. Yeah. But anyway, here's why he's bringing this up is because Salvo, and this is maybe something that you guys may not be aware of yet. So Salvo, we know, got demonetized on his YouTube channel. We're all aware of that, correct? Well, this last week, people started getting, myself included, because I've made some donations to Salvo. Donations returned from PayPal. It turns out that PayPal.
Hannah, why is a nipple on my Twitter feed?
I'll tell you what, Hannah, because they voted to see it.
That's what the people wanted.
Take it up with the Mud Squad. The Mud Squad voted 90%. They wanted to see my nipple.
Liana Taylor says they're momming milk.
We've broken Twitter.
There you go. They got nips out. That's right. Guns
when in doubt, nips out.
That's right. So
let's go, gang.
But so evidently his Twitter or his PayPal account got yeeted, and he's gotten yeeted off of Twitter. So he has no Twitter, no PayPal. So effectively now, Salvo has no way to make money.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Rip.
Another soldier fallen.
That's not Keemstar.
Yeah, is it? It might be.
Yeah, I guess it is Keemstar.
I don't know. It doesn't have the thing. What is he?
Yeah, but it says Keemstar on Twitch, Keemstar on Twitter.
He must have left my server then. If that's
probably.
All right.
So you sent it to Chris. Good. Chris needs to see what a real man's nipple looks like.
See what happens. Pull him up. What's the worst that could happen? It's a fake one. Nothing. That's the worst.
Hello. Oh, whoops! I put him out. Sorry. Hello. No answer.
You there?
It was a fake one.
I think you got faked.
I may have gave you bad advice.
Remember since September 21st, 2015?
Maybe not.
No, somebody changed their name because there's no way he's giving me a fucking name.
You know what it probably is?
Keemstar Show, Sharpen the Point,
Android glitch.
Mudslingers, Mudslingers.
Somebody changed their name.
No, I'm telling you, I think this is Keem.
No, he must have left the server because I always had him on known fuckhead.
Hello? Wait, there he goes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, he's here. It is Keemstar. Okay. What's up?
Okay. All right, it was the wrong setting. So since you're so concerned with my show,
I'm not.
And,
Believe me. I couldn't care less.
I really think you should be more concerned with who's fatter right now, you or Ethan Klein.
I don't know. It's probably
close. Got you there, Tommy.
You got me there.
You fucking got you dead.
Oh God. I can't say anything because I'm a big person too, but anyway.
I'm not concerned.
I mean, I was thinking about setting up a sumo wrestling match between the two of you.
I couldn't. I couldn't even get. If you gave me like $100,000 to do one of your fucking fights, I couldn't even take it. My doctor wouldn't let me. So I'm pretty much fucked.
Like somebody that found it Microsoft.
Yeah.
Now. Like,
the Lodge.
Yeah, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. What's on your mind?
The reason why my show is entertaining is because I developed a fucking team, because I orchestrated a goddamn team. And that's why I hate when anyone's like, oh, Keemstar's makes the show, Salvo makes the show, Brantley makes it. It's a fucking team.
It's all you.
We all make the fucking show.
It's all you.
But of course,
I don't agree. I think they're nothing without you. You made them all.
And I really hate how you constantly say, well, the reason.
What's that?
He ignores it because he secretly thinks that as well. But he has to say, it's a team effort. Yeah, it's Keem. Come on.
So here's the question. All right. So Keemstar puts this show
Ask your
together.
question.
Okay. So Keemstar creates this show.
Yep.
Buys all the equipment. Hires the people, right? Because he hired Salvo. Salvo's getting a salary for doing the show. Kristen Ark's getting a salary for doing the show. I think Brantley I don't think she's getting a salary. I think she just, because she's Keemstar's girlfriend or whatever, right?
Oh, she's getting a salary, all right. It's just a different type of payment.
Getting paid in dick. All right. So what's the question?
So it is because of Keemstar.
Yes. Right? Keem is the man who made the plane.
At the very least, it's it's the capital behind the podcast at the very least, you know.
Okay. So are people tuning in because of Keemstar? Are they tuning in because of Salvo? Or
yeah, tuning in because of Salvo. If you look at the chat, if you look at the live chat, it's majority Salvo supporters. But like, if Keemstar actually did the legwork and advertised the show on his channel, even though the drama alert's not getting the views it used to, you still get a pretty decent chunk of traction if you advertised it.
Well, okay, and you may not know this, but I heard Keemstar say, what did he? Where did he say? It was either one of the Keemstar shows or it was one the members only stream. He is pretty much done with Drama Alert.
I figured
he puts it up on Snapchat just because of the deal he has with them, right? For
he gets crazy amount of money from that too. He's admitted to it.
Yeah, but you know he's moved past, I guess, for a little bit, for lack of a better word, Drama Alert. This show, I guess, for lack of a better word, is the evolution of Drama Alert, because he's still doing what Drama Alert was doing. He's just doing it live, right?
Right, and well, plus too, he's allowed to be not as restrictive. I mean, he still is kind of restricted to some extent, but you can tell he's a lot more free on the show rather than Drama Alert, because Drama Alert grew to a certain point to where it's just like he had to watch everything he said. I mean, if you look at like Drama Alert clips from like 5-6 years ago, you have clips of him saying the N-word, everything under the sun.
Yes.
Now it's like, and then he said the R word.
Well, because that is the landscape that YouTube is today.
Yeah, well, especially on that channel, you know, like he has no room to mess up on that channel.
It's not just that channel. It's, if you go, I'll say this, and this is something that I've learned now, because it's you know, our channel here, and even in my personal channel, they're not monetized right now. And Nerdy, you could testify to this. Once you become partnered with YouTube and you receive that monetization, all of a sudden you get access to some tools and some things that just your run-of-the-mill YouTube channels don't have, right?
Yeah, you get a bit more access to stuff. I mean, like the channel analytics stuff was always there. Like you can look and see at your analytics, like, okay, who's looking at what.
Yeah, but what I was talking about was on the monetization, though, part of it, right?
Mhm.
Is okay. So on your videos, right? Are they green? Are they yellow?
Majority of my videos are green. There are a couple that are yellow. The only red ones I have are my live streams where I play copyrighted music.
Okay. So one of the things that I've noticed, like I've tried, like I've got a video sitting out there right now on Dave's channel that I edited, right? And I went through and I edited out the language, like all the F-bombs and things like that, right?
Mhm.
And when I uploaded it, it's still on, it's not public yet or anything like that, because I'm trying to get it to go green. When I uploaded stuff, it instantly went yellow. It's demonetized.
Oh yeah, I can, like the last video I uploaded, I don't even think like I swore once in that video,
Yeah.
but it was the subject matter I was talking about.
Yeah. Well, this one here, the subject matter is him hitting 10K subs. Right? So there was nothing there. I don't feel like that would warrant it being yellow, right? And like I said, now there was cursing and stuff in there, but I went through and edited that stuff out, right? I cut that audio out to where it's not there. And so, but it's still yellow. Now I've submitted it for manual review. I haven't looked today, but you know, it just, so what I'm saying is this. So Keemstar says the R word or the SA or things of that, right?
Wait,
to
hold
try
on.
to stay.
Are you talking about retard or rape?
Either one.
Oh,
Because I'm telling you right now, there are words that if you, it doesn't have to be swear words either, right? You can just say certain words and instantaneous. That's it, right? Like for example, if we had reached monetization for this channel, today's show 100% would have been demonetized because we've said the word transgendered. We've said things like that. Listen. You can't. That will get you nuked, man.
Well, it's weird too though, because like there have been cases where YouTubers have talked about the same exact subject matter that we're talking about, that Dave talks about, that Keem talks about, and they're in the green. So it's like it's a coin toss half the time.
Yes, it's
not a coin toss. These people are selected. I didn't say that. That's
no, it's 100%. There are people and another thing, like I noticed, right? Like there was a segment that we covered on Dave's stream that I felt like we needed to edit out a segment because we played the clip from the H3H3 podcast where he was talking about Ben Shapiro. And because that stream actually got taken down by YouTube, and Ethan got a strike on his channel, right?
And Augie did so as well when he made a video showing the clip in full.
Exactly, right. So I went in and just trimmed out that little section of the stream, right, and what have you. Well, and here's something else I noticed, right? Like, because I've done editing on our videos, some videos of ours in the past for this, that, whatever reason, right? And it would show it processing for days and days and days, trying to get the edit in, right? And Dave's video was done in just like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, right? So I was like, okay, I saw real quick there too that the bigger your channel is, it's like they I guess give it more processing power on the back end up in the cloud to be able to process those type of things and changes, right? But a little show like ours, who has just we're at like 260 or something like that, 50, 60 subs, whatever it is now. We just get a trickle, right, of the processing power. So there's a lot of things. What I'm saying is that. And so since we're kind of talking about this a little bit, I'll segue a little bit here. Boi DMax got a strike on his channel, community guidelines strike, because of a video he made about this person who's a Sonic fan, right? And some of depravity and stuff that they were doing, right? And it was based upon some of the language that the sexual acts and stuff that he was reading out. That this guy had done, tweets or whatever it was, the source material that he had, and his channel got yeeted, or not, channel didn't get yeeted. I'm sorry, the video got community guidelines strike, and he got a strike on his channel, and he's not able to upload or do anything for, I think it was for like 2 weeks or something like that, right? But you can go, and there are other channels that talk about the same thing, and they don't receive a community guideline strike. You can go to some of the big corporate channels that are on YouTube, and they'll be talking about news stories that with a whole lot more graphic language than what Boi DMax was saying in the video, and it's up there. It's not even age restricted, right? And
oh my God, news channels, they show they sometimes they show the actual incidents that happen. Some of them really graphic, and nothing happens to them. Now I understand it's not a good idea to use music videos as an example anymore, because YouTube has admitted that music videos are under like a different sort of category.
They get a pass.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I feel like these corporate news channels, right, like CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, these court TV channels, they're given a pass too, right? Because
go
ahead.
If you remember, Susan did an interview, and she said, "Yeah, we're really trying to focus on the mainstream news when it comes to these sort of things." And so, like, this really affects, like, like I don't know if you guys would call yourselves like a news channel, but like you guys cover current events. Like you guys cover current events, right? It's like it's in that realm esque, and so it targets channels like yours, channels like mine, channels like Dave.
Okay, I would say we're news in the sense of we do news in and around that's YouTube related. That's YouTubers that are that is celebrity YouTube class celebrity news and stuff like that, right? So yeah, we do report on stories in and around that in that sense, right? My point or my problem is it's like because we're covering stories that are meaningful to the YouTube community, not just us, but other channels, like Bo Blacks or Tommy C's Sharp from the Point, Dead on Dave, Augie, any of those, Nerdy John. That's important to our community. We cover these things and we try to do it in as professional manner as we can, right? And as accurate as we possibly can. Do we make mistakes and get things wrong sometimes? 100% we do, but so do these mainstream media shows, right? They get stuff wrong all the time, right? And at least we correct it. We don't just leave it out there, and stuff. So anyway,
I leave it out there. I don't give a shit. I'll say wrong stuff all the time. I don't give a fuck. It's now a nudes channel. Thanks for
yeah, 100% nudes all day.
Yeah, so pay up for them nudes. We provide it.
But anyway, if you guys are interested in this here, in this conversation, I don't think I'm necessarily going to talk any more about this. But there was one other thing that I wanted to have a conversation with Banana, and we'll probably wrap it up on the show with this story here. So Tuesday here in the States is midterm elections. And here in Arkansas, where I live, we have a bill that's being voted on by Arkansans. And in this bill, we already have a bill that allows marijuana to be used medicinally. You can go and if you have certain medical conditions, you can get a doctor, and a doctor will prescribe. You'll get a card, and you can go and purchase so much, marijuana, whatever that your doctor prescribes you with this card. The downside to it is if you go that route and you get it, then you're not allowed to have firearms in your house.
Red flag laws.
Yes. So, and I think I've shared this with you guys.
What is it? Eye Patch McCain, the globalist cuck, the one that's in bed with Soros and fucking what's his name, Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. That guy, yeah.
So, anyway, about a year ago, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And I have to take a big handful of pills every day to try to combat the inflammation and swelling and stuff. And during the day, most of the time, I get along just fine, and it's not too terribly bad, right?
Yeah.
But at night, it gets problematic where I can't sleep. And if I had access to like what they call those things, the edibles, right? I would probably do something like that to just kind of help me relax at night and sleep, to deal with some of the pain. But I refuse to do so because I don't want to give up my firearms. I don't think I should have to give up one to get the other. Now, Tuesday though, they're passing a law to where, we get to vote on passing a law rather, to where it makes it open for recreational use. And I really hope this law passes. And when I was talking with Banana earlier about this, he had a opposing view to me. I shut the conversation down because I felt like this would probably be a really good conversation to have for our show. Because it's not too often that Banana and I actually, I think, disagree to this extent. So, anyway, I'm going to give the floor now to Banana. I've kind of set the floor a little bit. I'm going to let you present your views on why it shouldn't be legalized.
Really, it's from an economic standpoint. Drugs should not be legalized recreationally because the thing that happens whenever you legalize recreational drugs is that people become less productive. And so you have a bunch of people who would otherwise be productive in the economy and produce things that help the economy move forward, become dependent on addictive substances. And so, like, honestly, that's the only reason. Like, medical, fine. Yeah, if people have medical issues and they need weed, sure, why not? But I think it's really bad for people to be have easy access to things that are horribly addictive, because it's a unfortunate fact that you need people working to have an economy function and not fucking collapse in on itself because there's like 20% of the population not doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a question. When we implemented prohibition and they outlawed alcohol, right? And again, they did that because for morality reasons, right? Which is basically what you're
Mine aren't morality. It's just economics.
Okay. All right. But morality, economics, anyway. So did that impact the workforce? Does having alcohol readily available out there impact the workforce?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
Okay, but we have alcohol now, right? That's readily available as long as you are 21
Yeah,
years
but alcohol is
of age.
not heroin. Alcohol is not
Did I
weed.
say heroin?
Yeah.
I
I mean,
said
like
weed.
opiates, heroin, weed.
Okay, so how many people are addicted right now because of Oxycontin?
Well, that's a different issue.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
completely.
No, it's not.
It's big
It's
pharma.
opioid.
That's actually
Okay.
like it's
but
legal
how
in the
many-
sense that it's overprescribed by zealous
Okay.
doctors who are given a stipend by those companies that produce those patents for those different types of opium. They're like, oh, it's a delayed release, but what they do is people get the pills and then pop them open and snort them anyway, so it goes right to the bloodstream. So they get a big fat hit of fucking hillbilly heroin. It's
Okay.
like they know what they're
my,
doing.
My point is that you're going to have a certain portion of society, okay, that no matter what laws we try to implement, be it morality reasons, be it for economic reasons, doesn't matter. You're still going to have a percentage of any population anywhere that is going to use drugs, alcohol, or whatever, and they're just not going to be productive members of society. Right?
Yeah, but you're also going to have people that are not going to ever approach those things based on the laws themselves being in place to keep them out of marketplaces like drugstores or like fucking like a local shop.
Okay, so
it's like because they'll be too inhibited to go find a dealer or anything like that.
So
and they'll be way more productive for it.
Okay, so let me just the way I would say is this. Here in the state that I live in, we were making
because but hold on, to type that point, it's actually really important to point that out, because the people that are going to find those dealers and do the drugs anyway, they're going to do that. Okay, cool. If it's illegal, they're doing it illegally. But the people that aren't, you're not making easier for them to get hooked onto something to make them less productive in the economy. So like you're the actual, that's a detriment to your argument because it allows for more people to have access to something. Absolutely.
Okay.
It removes the stigma.
All right. So let me just about 7 or 8 years ago, the state I live in became
my job
world famous, right? Because of a little HBO documentary called Ice Storm. Okay. And it was all about
Arkansas is a huge story, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was an HBO documentary that they did, and they came in and they did with this family that doesn't actually live too far from where I live. And they had this big, huge raid where they came in and busted all these people. This huge, I can't remember how many, it was like, I think it was like 100 people or something that they arrested for meth, right? I was working at a public school at the time, and we had students, parents who were arrested. That they basically the entire family got rolled out of the bed, like at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and parents were arrested. And these kids saw this, and that's how their day started, right? Um, and so uh, drugs drugs are a evil that encompasses the world, right? Period. Now, what I'll say is this, and maybe I have a little bit different mindset than some people, but this is my mindset. I believe that if they don't really punish people like that are because they say they're addicts, right? So like if they're doing meth, heroin, cocaine,
I have a problem.
things like that, right? And it's a revolving door, right? Because all these people were arrested, right? 100 something people, I think it was, that they wound up on, had a big billboard, had their mug shots on it, the whole bit, right? Had a big press conference, all in the papers, everything. And then those people were turned right around and they're back out on the streets basically the same day.
Okay.
There was with no long-term repercussions.
This is fueling my argument, but yes.
But hang on, right?
Okay.
All they did, right, was feed into the economy.
How so?
They had to bond out of jail, had to hire lawyers, right? So the government machine, the jails, all that stuff got money.
You're talking about private prisons.
I'm not talking about private prisons. I don't think maybe.
No, okay. When I'm saying economic reason, I mean like units of work produced to the economy. So like when people are doing things like a productive job, like they're welding, like they're planning cities, like they're doing shit like that, like helping society move forward.
Okay.
You're going to have less productive people who are hamstrung by a physical dependency.
I disagree with that. You're going to have, okay, because here's why. Everyone those
I don't know. Look at Singapore. They have a zero tolerance on drugs. That's a pretty nice fucking city. Totalitarian in evil, but they don't have as much crime.
Mm-hmm.
They take a pretty firm stance on drugs.
Okay, every one of the jobs that you mentioned has drug screening. They can't have the jobs if they don't pass the urine test, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
Fine. That's not going to change anything. That's not
people. No, hold on. Orson Welles says in the chat, people don't work drunk, so I doubt they'll work stoned. You have no idea. That is such a naive comment. I don't know how old you are, but that's the amount of people, electricians that came in, when I worked contracting, the amount of electricians that came in completely trashed, completely drunk. They would drink while they drive. Like there was people that would do a line of coke in on work sites in the fucking porta potties. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, that's not true.
There is in certain fields of work, there is rampant drug abuse. There's no argument. But there again, like especially in the construction field and stuff, if there's no type of drug screening in place, right? I've held jobs where, like for example, when I was working at the public school system, because I was a school bus driver, right? I was subjected to random drug screens and was randomly drug screened constantly, right? And here's the thing about it, right? I could the night before, if I wanted to get hammered, I could get hammered. But as long as I was, quote, sober the next day, right? Wasn't intoxicated. So if they checked my blood or I did a urine test on me, no alcohol, still whatever, right? But let me ask you a question. Do you think that I was still in a state of condition to where I should have been driving a school bus full of kids if I got hammered the night before?
I don't know how that works towards your argument.
Hungover. You're hungover. You're not where, even though you're technically not drunk, you're still not in an alert state of mind to where you need to be responsible for other lives. Period.
Okay, so if people are tired because they're driving 24 hours, like that's the same thing as being drunk?
Yes. 100%.
What does that have to do with legalized marijuana?
My point is if you have people that are using marijuana recreationally or medically, either one doesn't make any difference, right? If they're using it, there's no difference between that and if a person who's going to be doing drinking. Zero difference. Absolutely zero difference.
And I guess I should say too, I don't really care about the argument too much, but if I had to make an argument, this is the one I would make. Like, because I personally think it's a net detriment to society. Now, there is the thing to say, like, it helps creative thinking for some individuals and it helps them open their mind in a way that previously wouldn't. But I don't think that's most of the cases. I think like most people that I've ever met that like are really into weed, like they're just lazy and unproductive and they don't do anything like at all other than talk about smoking weed.
All right. Well, okay.
No offense.
I understand, but there are I know people that smoke weed and are very productive, right? And have great jobs and make a lot of money.
Yeah, but those are anecdotal cases, like on both ends. So, like realistically, it's not worth anything in an argument.
Well, I'll say this: as far as the economy here in the state where I'm at, right?
I'm just saying we can't afford to have people not productive right now because things are really bad.
Okay, I understand that, but here's what I'm going to tell you, right?
Yeah.
Because in the last 2 years, right, 3 years I think it is now, we've had medical marijuana, right? And it is a multi-million dollar business of tax revenue.
So is heroin.
How's heroin taxed?
Not tax, but revenue. I understand what you're saying. You're making the economic argument saying it's opening up a branch of revenue for money influx into the economy. More spending, sure.
I'm just saying, as far as you're talking about, it's counterproductive. I'm telling you.
Again, I'm not talking about money into the economy. I'm talking about production.
Okay.
Production is different than influx of spending.
Okay. Again, if there are certain jobs and industries out there that 100% a person does not need to be using any types of drugs nor alcohol when they're doing their jobs. There are jobs that 100% those two things cannot coexist. Period. You'll get zero argument from me. Okay. But then you've got a lot of society members, right? That guess what? They would rather be able to go home after a hard day and smoke a joint versus having 2 or 3, belts of whiskey and go to bed.
Or here's an idea. Don't use substances because you don't need them. Unless you have a serious medical condition, why are you coping with substances?
So
why don't you go to counseling and figure your shit out?
So let me ask you a question. Okay, so you never come home after a hard day and just have a beer.
I used to, yeah.
Or you have a special occasion or something, and you have a beer.
Yeah, but that's not the same as becoming cripplingly addicted to a substance.
Who said anything about cripplingly addicting? I never said that. My point is this. To me, if a person wants to recreationally use this substance, to me, there's zero difference between that and recreationally using alcohol. Zero difference. Absolutely positively zero. Period. And I just think that the only argument I'm making for is marijuana. I'm not making arguments for heroin or cocaine or anything else like that. I'm talking about
but that's the libertarian, like the retarded, chaotic opinion of libertarians. I hear it all the time. Is people saying, just legalize everything. Just make it all legal. And it's like, yeah, even marijuana can be a slippery slope too. It's like into other drugs. It's like,
where does it end? No.
Where does it end? Where does it end?
I don't know anybody that started off with marijuana said, I think it'd be a good idea. Let me get some heroin and inject it in my arm.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Marijuana is 100% a gateway drug.
No, it's not. No.
Yes, it is, because they push other shit onto you. Dealers will push other fucking shit. Or you go to a party where like the fucking dealer is, and they're all those people that fucking smoke weed. Like, oh, we're doing a line of coke in the bathroom. It's 100% a gateway drug. Are you kidding?
So let me ask you a question. So if we had marijuana legalized, right, to where you could go to your local dispensary or whatever to buy it, you weren't having then you're not having to deal with a street dealer.
When did a lot of people are getting caught up in the chat about alcohol? When did I ever defend alcohol? Like, but go ahead.
But okay, hang on. So if you're dealing with a business where it's legalized, marijuana is legalized, right? You go in there, that person's is not incentivized to get you hooked on something more, like heroin or cocaine or meth or whatever. There's no incentivization there, right? Because they're a marijuana dealer. That's it. Now, they might try to say, hey, have you tried this strain, which is maybe a little bit more expensive, right? Or have you tried maybe these gummies or these edibles or whatever, that type of stuff? Fair and fine enough. But they're not going to sit there and say, well, hey, if you really like
the law of diminishing returns, higher and higher THC levels. Oh, what happens whenever I'm eating 10 gummies a day and it doesn't do anything for me? I'll start doing acid. What if acid doesn't work for me? I'll do DMT. What if DMT doesn't work for me? I don't know, move on to heroin.
Listen, you're always going to have people out there that have addictive personalities, right?
Mm-hmm. And they won't be gatekept by illegal activity, which is my point.
And here's the thing. If they have addictive personalities, right?
Yeah.
If they're at some party somewhere and someone has a joint and they smoke a joint with somebody and they have an addictive personality, it doesn't matter if that joint was legally or illegally purchased. They have an addictive personality, then boom, right?
Yeah.
That's just the nature of that game. Okay. But again, there's this stigmatism that has always been leveled against marijuana that I think is an unfair stigmatism. And to me, I've seen people who use marijuana, right?
Yes.
And they come home at the end of the day, they've had a hard day, and
those people exist. I agree.
Yes.
Yes. And I also agree it has an unfair stigma. But if you listen to what I originally said, I said right now we live in a time where the economy is so bad that our country is literally on the verge of economic collapse that you can't afford to legalize those things on the off chance that it'll reduce the number of production of workers.
Do you think that the reason why we have a lack of workforce, which you and I agree, there's a lack of workforce in the United States right now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that's because we've had states out there that have legalized marijuana for recreational use? Or
no, I think it's caught up in a larger cultural issue that includes also destigmatizing recreational use of substances. But that's not the entirety of it. No, there's a larger issue. And it has to do with lack of meaning. Because and that honestly ties into the drug thing, because people use substances because they have a lack of meaning in their life that provides them with the positive emotion that they would receive from that substance. So honestly, it kind of is the same argument. Like, there's a cultural death in America because of the fact that we forgot how to form traditions and rituals or keep them. We didn't understand why we use them or have them. So people who are maladapted to life or their circumstance or didn't develop properly, they never formed a cohesive meaning structure to their life, and they use a substance like marijuana, heroin, anything as a crutch. So yeah, some people need that. Okay. But there's a negative aspect to it. And the only argument I would make against weed in this current moment is that it's not good right now. Because we're at a fucking clinch point.
Or it could be good because we have a lot of people that could be put to work through the legalization of it, because all of a sudden we're going to have more places that are selling it, places that are growing it, and people could go to work.
I think that's naively optimistic.
Okay, fine. Maybe it's naively optimistic, right?
But maybe you're right. I could be wrong. I'm willing to say that.
Yeah. All I know is that in my state right now.
Let me get one more time for people before they get it twisted. I know that there are people that need that kind of thing. I understand that. I'm not fucking heartless.
Yeah.
But I'm making a hyper nuanced argument about this.
Yeah.
That has very specific conditions. So
Yes, I understand what you're saying with and the position that you're taking, and I respect that, right? I'm just saying that I don't agree with it.
Okay.
And what I'll also say is that I know that in my state alone, because of the legalization of, medically wise, it has brought a huge tax boom to my entire state.
Well, here's a good argument for your side. There is a big problem in MENA. There was a big problem with Barry, what's his name, the CIA operative that went rogue, that was trafficking drugs to South America.
Yep.
So you could say that people in high positions of power abused a black market,
sure,
because of a need they saw in certain societies, like dying rural communities, like in Arkansas, like MENA, Arkansas. There was actually grow operations that were done by local police that the CIA and FBI covered up.
Yeah,
and people died as a result of finding those grow ops. And there was, because the police killed them because they couldn't let the secret get out. Like, and there was active cover ups. And like, long story short, I understand what you're saying. There's a black market that is fueled by the illegal, nature of substances. Yeah. And maybe legalizing them would remove the black market. I don't fucking know.
I think in some aspects, I think it all boils down to this, right? And I've asked the question so I could kind of understand, right? Mm-hmm. So like, for example, with the legalization and for recreational use or whatever, right? When you go into a dispensary to get it, it's going to cost you a little bit more to buy it that way than say from your local dealer, right? Street corner dealer, whatever, right? But again, you don't know what you're getting when you go and buy from Jimmy on the corner, right? But when you go to the dispensary, you know what you're getting. They know what the THC.
Not necessarily, actually, because there's very loose regulations on, or like whenever, I don't know what it is, FDA or otherwise. Like none of that stuff has been ironed out. So any of those, like, you don't know what's in that either. There could be pesticides like fucking Roundup or genetically modified bullshit that could harm you. Like, no, it's like, yes, there's probably not like acid or fucking PCP in the weed that's gonna fucking ruin your brain.
Or fentanyl that would kill you.
Yeah, but there's probably other shit in there too that they're not telling you about. Like vape oils. Like there could be shit in the vape oils that causes cancer in your lungs. Or there could be fucking like stuff in the gummy. Like, like none of it's regulated. It's an unregulated market. So
all I'm saying is when you go into a dispensary, right, you're going to know what the THC levels are. You're going to know what the potency of it is, right? So you have a better idea, right, of what you're getting. When you buy from Jimmy on the street, you don't know. You don't know if it's been dipped in formaldehyde. You don't know.
I mean, you technically don't know at the dispensary either because it's not regulated.
It is regulated. It 100% is regulated.
How?
It's
what governing body?
Okay, each state that has set it up has regulations. Does it need to be done at a federal level, and does it need like where, as far as like with alcohol and regulated in that sense, right? To where when you buy a fifth of whiskey and it says it's 70% by volume, you know that whiskey is 70% by volume. You know what you're getting, right? Right. Because it's overseen by the FDA and stuff, right? Or actually, in this case, alcohol and tobacco and firearms, right? It's overseen by that, right? So there's hard lines there, right?
Sure.
Does it need to be done that way? I 100% agree. It needs that type of oversight. No argument for me on that, right? But I will say this, in the state where I'm at, they do have guidelines that they have to adhere to. They have to test, and they have oversight, government agencies that come in and they go through everything.
Which are deep and money laden with interest.
Yeah, maybe.
Just like the food pyramid. Like, I mean, it's so bad that like FDA, like at one point in time, said cigarettes were FDA approved. Like the Surgeon General recommended them. Like the food pyramid is completely wrong. Like it's actually backwards. It's not like so. Like I don't know, because the food pyramid was created by food marketers to promote like sugars and dense carbohydrates instead of protein in meat. So
like zero says they regulate weed in Montana where he's at, right? They have to have each batch tested and they have to post the exact THC value, right? So there is some oversight. There is some regulation in place, right? Now, could it be a little bit more uniformed where they have like a big one over the umbrellas the entire nation? Yes, I think could, and they probably should, but until the federal government decriminalizes it, that's not going to happen.
Well, then it'll just get more corrupt and bureaucratic. But anyways, I think that stigma is a thing that is necessary, and I don't think destigmatizing things is actually a good idea. I think things need to retain a certain amount of stigma as a protective, a protective measure for some individuals to stay away.
I disagree because if we had that mindset, then there would be.
Well, it's like a stigma about like puritanical like sex practices in the like fucking what like the colonial days. I don't know, like pick one. Like whenever they were like really uptight about sex because they STDs would literally kill you. Like like syphilis. Syphilis was a big deal. And so like sex was like promiscuity was not something that was in vogue. And there was a stigma about sex. And it was a Darwinian fucking response to the influx of STDs and no protection against them.
So are you saying we need to go back to that stigmatism because stigmatisms are good?
In some sense they are, because they protect you against things you're not aware of. In some things, if you don't know all the variables, there's a reason there's a stigma. In some instances, yeah. In some instances, no.
Dude, you've been.
I will not take this.
Dude, you've been totally red pilled. I don't know.
No, I'm not red pilled. How dare you? How dare you?
You're red pilled.
I believe in this country, and I want it to be successful.
That doesn't. Okay. A country being successful has nothing to do with red pill, blue pill, or black pill.
Yeah, you're the one that called me a red pilled. So
that's right, but it has nothing to do.
I would never say something so mean to you. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Whatever.
You hurt my feelings.
Well, get over it. Get over it, cupcake. I don't tell you.
Yeah.
But no, personally, I do hope that legislation passes Tuesday. I am, and maybe it's naivety, but I do see that it is a good thing. I think that it's productive. I think it is a good thing for my state. Banana disagrees with me, and that's fine. He is entitled to his views and opinions. This is one of these deals where I'm not going to change his mind. He's not going to change my mind. I am not for stigmatisms. I think that is a very archaic way of approaching things. But hey, each to his own, right? So,
dude, it's not even that like I'm like, yeah, dude, you should be like fucking puritanical. It's like there's a reason that existed during the time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly why you're saying.
Just because the people didn't know why they were enforcing that stigma doesn't mean it wasn't useful. Keep that in mind.
But we also back then they didn't have ways to protect themselves through
contraception. Yes, that's my point.
Okay, nowadays we do.
We don't know. That's the thing. That's a fallacy. No, hold on. The fallacy you're claiming right now is that we have enough knowledge to understand the impact. We do not.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
What I said was nowadays we are more enlightened.
No, we aren't. We're stupid. Well, if we were enlightened, we wouldn't be going to war over religious reasons disguised as political ones.
Oh my Lord!
And retreading the same steps as murderous.
You're bringing that out of left field.
It's honestly the same. No, it's the same. You said we were enlightened. You said we were enlightened. You said we were enlightened.
You want us to go back to Puritan times to where you can't have sex because you might get gonorrhea and your dick.
You're trying to red herring me. It's not going to work. I'm sorry.
Red herring. That's exactly
everything I said was. It was completely and utterly above board.
You said
the real
we
ones.
need to go back to Puritan times and quit
The real
having
ones.
sex.
That's not what I said at all.
Listen.
This is cope. This is major cope by you.
No, it's not cope.
This is absolute capital cope. No, don't ask the chat. Don't try to win them over.
I won't. No.
If I ran the country, we would be very successful, and everyone would live in fear because we would have a nice, polite society where no one did anything wrong, and it would be nice. Everyone would enjoy my dictatorship, and you would love it. You would love being ruled by me. I promise.
You think so?
I would be a god king. Emperor Banana. Don't outsource this to the chat. Or what are you doing? I hear you typing. Thank you, Schmeets. Common Banana W. I think Banana Aaron won this one.
No, I don't.
And I have to piss. We've been 2 hours. Jesus Christ.
So I put up a poll, and I want to see what the chat says.
The real ones know what I was saying.
We did a poll on my nipple. We're going to do a poll on this one.
Absolutely. It's not what I said at all, sir.
Yeah, exactly was what you said.
No, it's not.
You said you wanted us to go back to Puritan times and quit having sex.
No, that's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
No, I said that the stigma existed for a reason, even though the people didn't understand why they were so.
And I said, and should we go back to it? And you said yes.
No, I said
Yes,
maybe.
you did. Oh.
I said maybe. Maybe it would be better. I don't know. I didn't say yes.
Okay.
Let's see. What does the poll say? Exactly. Common Banana W.
Oh, get out of here.
This is a total 1926 moment that Salvo Pancakes was talking about. All right, man.
All right, well, let's wrap this thing up and let's call it a night. So, I think we've listen. I do want to just quick note here. This was Banana's celebration weekend. Next weekend is my celebration weekend. I am not going to be available to do a podcast with Banana Saturday or Sunday next weekend. So, not to leave you guys high and dry, what we're going to do is we're going to do a stream Friday afternoon. We're going to probably shoot for, I think we said it was about 5 Eastern. No, what we said on Banana, something like that.
Whatever you decide, I'll be there. Fucking
okay.
I don't care.
So just watch Banana and my Twitter. When we get that all hammered
Don't watch
out,
my Twitter. I'm never on my Twitter. That's a bad idea. Watch Riveter's Twitter.
Watch my Twitter and watch, and I'll put out alerts in the Discord too. If you're not a member of the Discord, please join our Discord so that you can call in like Britt did and have a really good conversation with us. But anyway, we will be doing our show Friday afternoon because, like I said, I'm not going to be around Saturday or Sunday to be able to do it our normal time. So, but anyway, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate the donos and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Banana, anything else that you want to tell the chat before we get out of here?
Vote me as God King 2024. Banana Grabber for president.
There you go. You heard it. Heard it from his own God King 2024. There you go.
Write me in the ballot.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, make sure guys to go out and check out the Willie Mac video. Give that a watch. We'll watch the Tommy C stream to hear that interaction between him and Keemstar. Something tells me that may have gotten interesting. I'm going to have to watch it after the show, I guess, maybe or tomorrow. I'm not for sure. But anyway, y'all take care. And remember, keep your powder dry, and we'll see you in the funny papers.